Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to take a look at the new comic books I picked up this week for New Comic Book Day, March 19th. We're going to kick it off with a big one for me, G.I. Joe, number 5. And I love the Tom Riley artwork. I love what Joshua Williamson's doing with these characters. Great action, the wonderful character moments. I love all of their different interactions, all of the different relationships that are being built. There's some moments in here that you kind of hint towards. Not fully, but the Destro and Baroness kind of have a moment in this comic, which you kind of see that Destro is very impressed by Baroness, and just kind of setting the stage for their relationship down the line if that happens in this universe, which I suspect it will. But yeah, so the Joes are in a bad spot in this issue. They are captured by Cobra, and they have some great fighting back moments, and there's just some wonderful action in this. This issue really sets the stage for the conclusion to the first arc, and absolutely looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to doing a more in-depth review of this one because there's a lot to unpack and discuss. So yeah, very much look forward to doing that when time allows. All right, next up we have another big one, Absolute Batman number 6. This is the conclusion to the Zoo, or the first story arc. And what's to say about this one? This continues to be an impressive book. Now, I have a tendency to, when things are overhyped, when things are really popular, I have a tendency to pull back and think like, it can't be that good. But this one is really good. It's a really good series. And I enjoy this take on Batman. I enjoy the kind of the brutality of this Batman. Now, we'll see again with many of the Absolute titles. I mean, this one I will keep reading. I'm more excited to kind of read this one just because, I don't know, I do enjoy Batman. I enjoyed Scott Snyder's take on Batman. I love that he has the opportunity to approach Batman from a different direction. So yeah, I really do enjoy that. The next two issues, issues 7 and 8, are a Mr. Freeze set story. It's not Dragata art. It's Marcos Martin. Not familiar with him. I understand the need for Dragata to take some breaks. It seems that this will be the way that the series goes. We'll have Dragata on for like a few issues, and then we'll get some tight side story type fill-in issues that maybe flesh out the world of Absolute Batman. While a huge appeal for the series is the pairing of Snyder and Dragata, the trade-off looks like will be this broken up approach to telling the main story. I only hope that if they time it well, so the narrative is not broken up and not interrupted at inopportune times. So if those breaks need to happen, might as well plan those in. Disappointed, but I understand it. Next up, let's do this one. Bug Wars number 2. I talked about it when I read the first issue. The kind of the cross between Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and a Game of Thrones type thing. Conan the Barbarian. It takes itself seriously and also doesn't take itself seriously. It kind of pokes fun in it. Not pokes fun, but just makes light of the situation that it is this backyard society, these bugs that it's like happening out in your backyard. But it's this high stakes society where it's life and death. It's just a fun concept. And in this issue, you learn more about the teenage character from the first issue. He shrunk down. He's now in amongst the bugs. He's acting as this bridge character. There's some people who realize like, oh, you're one of them from the house. A very important character, put it that way. And to see him learn more about the bug world, it's great. They make reference to, we talked about last issue. There was this giant storm that was coming, and it was this epic event that was going to wipe out the bug society, and it was the kid's brother mowing the lawn, and they called it, I think in this issue called it the Razor Storm, which I think is pretty great. So yeah, it's those kind of things where they mention mowing the lawn as a razor storm is this big thing, but it's just a kid mowing the lawns. I don't think I mentioned it's written by Jason Aaron, and Mahmoud Asrar is on the art, and it's really good. It's a good, definitely enjoying this series. Next up, we will talk about the Rocketfellers number 4. This is a Ghost Machine title. written by Peter J. Tomasi, Francis Manipul. It's about a time displaced family from the future. They're fugitives from some event that happened in the future, but they're kind of laying low, hiding out in present day. They have some technology with them that sets them beyond where they should be from everyone else around them, which is great. Here's the thing. So there's a lot of fun, just character family moments in this book, and it happened in this issue. So there's more. It starts off the first couple pages portion of the issue. It's more, them kind of dealing with just highlighting that they're a time displaced family, and there's little moments. And I was like, okay, this is kind of getting a little old. Like I understand it, I get it. But then right when that feeling hits, they kick it into a different gear, and you shift to like the Old West. And I mean, it's like, me in the Old West, I thoroughly enjoy that kind of stuff. But it re-engaged me really quick. But there's a reason. There's a reason why. There's a good reason why they visit the Old West, and it furthers the story. It continues to be an entertaining series. All right, next up, let's do this one. Let's do New Gods number, where are we at, 4? Yeah, this is so it's written by Ram V. Art is by Evan Cagle, and because this series, every issue so far, the first couple pages has been a guest artist, and Bernard Chang does his pages 1 through 3. It's a story on multiple fronts. There's stuff happening on New Genesis, and it ties into the events back on Earth. And back on Earth, you have Big Barda and Mr. Miracle, who are tracking down. They have this baby who is a new god that they're trying to protect from Orion, who is trying to assassinate this baby. There were some kind of not heavy bits of dialogue, but just some of the New Genesis stuff. I because I'm not as familiar with the Fourth World stuff, it takes me a little bit to kind of lock in and understand what's happening. And at first, I thought, because other issues have started off with flashbacks, there were some things that were happening that I thought were a flashback, and then I realized, oh, that's actually set in the present day. So that's one thing. When you have different artists, and then you've established that you do cover the things that were in the past, that was a little jarring for me. But going back, it makes a lot of sense, and it's I get it. It's cool. All right, so yeah, this maxi series, and I am enjoying it. The thing that I like the most about the series are the Big Barda, Mr. Miracle moments, and I do wish there were more of them, but I understand, there's a bigger story that is at play, and that's okay. Next up, we will talk about Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger, number 4, written by Jimmy Palmiotti, and artist on this one is Chad Hardin, which I've heard the name, was not really familiar with his art, and I like it. I like this. It's a very drastic change from the art of Patrick Reynolds, the kind of gritty art that Patrick Reynolds has established in the first 3 issues. The first 3 issues, and it fit this story that they're telling. Gunslinger is after this guy who, he's looking to get information about his missing sister. There is a circus that comes into play. It's a good style for this story that's being told, and I continue to like the nature of this series, where it is kind of individual type adventures. There is a story that's being progressed, but it's very, very episodic in nature, and I enjoy that. This is, I think it said end of part 1, so this is at least a 2-part story, and that's cool. This is the type of series that I want to see for Gunslinger Spawn. It's just adventures set in the West, and yeah, give me more of that, and I will continue to read this. The last issue we'll talk about is one that I forgot was coming out. It's been a while since the previous issue came out, and it's the Deviant number 9. Now, this is a James Tynion story with art by Joshua Hickson. I don't know that I've talked about this series a whole lot, because it's been, I don't know exactly when issue 8 came out, but it was a while ago. And what we get here is the wrap up to the series. That's the final issue. It's a double-sized issue, which was great, because at the end, I remember the end of issue 8 thinking, like, how are they going to wrap this up in 22 pages of story? You find out who the Deviant killer is. You find out about motivations, and I think it's a satisfying payoff for the series. It's one that I want to go back, and I'm looking forward to going back and reading the first 8 issues again, because well, I don't want to say too much about the identity of the killer. It's a wonderful story about identity. It's a wonderful story about you know what, I'll save it for when I do I'll talk about this series probably as a whole. Maybe when the other trade comes out or whatever. I'll talk about that later. But it's a wonderful murder mystery, creepy, set at Christmas, just a good kind of cross genre story. So yeah, would recommend that one. But wait, I mean the volume 1 is out. I think it's the first 4 issues. And I'm sure they'll do like a deluxe with all 9 issues, and that's the one I would probably hold off for that one. The last thing we'll talk about is one variant cover that I picked up this week, and it's New Gods number 4. It's a Chris Stevens variant cover, and I don't know who this character is. I think it's Shadowfall. I don't know if that's a new character. I have no idea if it's like an established fourth world character. No clue. I just saw when I was going through the solicits, I saw a Chris Stevens variant cover, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna put it on there. So love his art, love his work, and it doesn't matter that it's a character that I'm not familiar with. I don't care. Kind of reminds me of like a 90s Wildstorm character, and that's a lot of fun. So yeah, very cool. And again, I don't really want to get deep into the variant game, but if it's artists that I really love and they don't do a lot of interior work, I want to support and get the variant covers that are out there to show that hey, my extra copy, if that shows that sales go up a little bit, just doing my part to support artists that I enjoy. So there's a look at what I picked up this week. Not a huge week, but a nice solid week. A good assortment of titles that I picked up, different kind of genres. It just goes to show you that there are really solid books out there if you just look for them. Thank you very much for watching this one, and I will see you soon.